Welcome to Radio Express World News, presented by Vibha Ramesh, Los Angeles, United States. On Thursday, the Supreme Court passed two rulings that challenged Trump's personal and business financial records. In other words, President Trump's claims of immunity from local law enforcement and congressional investigators were rejected. The first ruling authorizes Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. to pursue the president's personal and business financial records. The second ruling put a hold on the congressional subpoenas. An update on coronavirus in the United States, a pattern has emerged denoting that the states that were amongst the first to relax lockdown restrictions are the ones that are recording a high number of new daily cases of the virus. Cases in Arizona have leaped 858%, while cases in Texas have jumped 680% since the start of the pandemic to the reopening. The surge has left hospitals across the South and West grappling for beds. The situation has compelled officials to cancel elective surgeries and resort to early discharge of patients. If that's one form of challenge, California is bracing for another amidst the pandemic. With rising temperatures, the state is entering the fire season. We are now walking right into the thick of the wildfire season, said Gavin Newsom, Governor of California. Looking at statistics from India, Thursday marked the third highest single-day cases of coronavirus with 25,000 new infections. Just like in the other parts of the world, India's surge too is attributed to the easing of restrictions. The average death rate stands at 450 per day. Stepping up to the occasion, Uttar Pradesh has announced a 3-day lockdown beginning Friday night to Monday morning with a view to check the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, Australia intensified its efforts to curtail the rapid transmission of the virus rampant through Melbourne. To this extent, most of Australia has shut its doors to people from Victoria as the state reported 165 new infections on Thursday. Further, the country has limited the number of citizens and residents returning home to 50% per week. According to the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, this move is imperative in the light of the new surge in Melbourne. In the wake of the incessant increase in new cases of coronavirus, Hong Kong has adopted new social distancing measures after the city registered 42 new cases on Thursday. According to the new measures, which will be imposed for 2 weeks beginning Friday, restaurants and nightclubs will operate only up to 60% of their capacity, and guest count for a table is limited to 8 at eat-outs and 4 in bars. More on COVID-19, Tokyo registered 243 new cases on Friday. The outbreak has been linked to the city's nightlife. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, 327 of the 691 workers in a construction area had tested positive for the virus. The test result led to the prompt closure of the construction site, and testing and contact tracing are being conducted to ascertain the mode of transmission. In yet another instance of surge due to early lifting of lockdown, Israel is seeing a sharp spike in new cases of COVID-19 as parts of its economy open too early. Commenting on the surge resulting from the early reopening of bars, nightclubs and event halls, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "I take responsibility for this measure and I take responsibility for fixing it." In effect, the government has ordered them closed again. A hospital in one of the Italian provinces, Bergamo, hit a milestone with no new case of COVID-19 for the first time in 137 days. Known to have been the most affected province at the start, things are gradually getting back to normalcy. Commenting on the accomplishment, Ferdinando Luca Lorini, the director of emergency services at the hospital, said, "It's now back to the way things were." There's reason to believe that the pandemic is killing people in more ways than by the virus itself. Millions of financially challenged people in Afghanistan and Yemen are starving to death as travel restrictions and closed borders have disrupted food supplies and incomes. Famine in these already poverty-stricken countries contributes to more deaths than the virus itself, with nearly 3.5 million people living on the brink of famine. With that, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for the next program on Radio Express. To receive Radio Express English news and English programs in your WhatsApp, please send a WhatsApp message, English programs, to 90727 95547. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Express. Thank you.